Yesterday I brought home the 1972 Chevy 350 small block engine with a 4-volt main. This morning I wanted to get it mounted on the engine stand and make sure the oil had all been drained. My daughters, who both live out of state, are coming to visit. I'm sure they'll want to help with the teardown. I'm more than happy to let them have at it. The engine did not come with an intake manifold, so we started by removing the valve covers, loosening the rocker arms, and removing the push rods. The girls then began removing the head bolts.
Bolt like a girl.
I was hoping that someone whose hands are mostly clean. That's, yeah.
The heads were tough to break loose, so we used the engine hoist to apply some lift.
It's a little easier, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We then removed the timing cover and the timing chain set.
Those should not be very
No, they're legal. Yeah.
Finally, I finished removing the oil pan. The oil pickup tube was lying loose in the bottom of the oil pan. That gave me some concern that maybe the engine was damaged due to oil starvation, but I later concluded the oil pickup must have come off after the engine was removed, as all the bearings looked good. There was a large ridge ring at the top of each cylinder. I needed to remove the ridge before I could take out the pistons. This was my first time using the ridge reamer, so I began very cautiously, but soon became comfortable that I wasn't going to damage the cylinders. After reaming all the cylinders, I began removing the rod caps and pistons. I left the loosened rod nuts threaded onto the rod bolts and then used a soft hammer to break the caps loose by tapping on the nuts. I used a soft rubber handle with a hammer to push the pistons out of the bore. Even though I didn't intend to use anything but the block, I still kept everything in the order that it came out, just in case my plans needed to change. The next day, I marked the main caps to make sure I don't get one out of place when reassembling the engine. I lifted out the crankshaft and inspected the main bearings as well as the crank. The crank was sprayed with WD-40 and bagged for storage. I removed all the core plugs and galley plugs from the engine block. The last thing I did was to remove all the cam bearings. I have a couple of mods I want to make to the block, and then it's ready to go to the machine shop. Be sure and leave a comment if you have any suggestions for the build. Thanks for watching.